The ancient words of Revelation, once shrouded in mystery, now bleed into our reality. A global tremor shakes the earth. The Lamb, Jesus Christ, breaks the first seal. A white horse appears. Its rider, a charismatic figure bearing a chillingly familiar face, promises world peace, but his bow is strung with deception. He is the Antichrist, a wolf in sheep's clothing. The second seal shatters. A crimson horse of war surges forth. Global conflict erupts with terrifying speed. Nuclear fire paints the night sky. Cities crumble. Nations turn on each other in a brutal dance of destruction. The third seal unleashes famine. A black horse gallops across barren fields. Empty supermarkets echo with the cries of the hungry. Food becomes a currency more valuable than gold. The stench of death hangs heavy in the air. With the breaking of the fourth seal, a pale horse emerges, ridden by death himself. A global pandemic, more lethal than any before, sweeps across the globe. Hospitals overflow with the sick and dying. Fear becomes a constant companion. The fifth seal breaks. The cries of martyrs rise from beneath the altar of God. They plead for justice. Their pleas are answered with a terrifying symphony of destruction. The first trumpet blazes across the heavens. A rain of fire and hail scorches the earth. Forests burn, crops wither. The sky itself seems to bleed. The second trumpet unleashes a fiery mountain crashing into the ocean. Tsunamis of unimaginable size crash against coastlines. Entire cities disappear beneath the waves. The third trumpet brings darkness. A blazing star poisons rivers and lakes. Fresh water turns bitter, killing all who drink it. With a deafening roar, the fourth trumpet darkens the sun and moon. Day turns to night. The stars vanish from the sky. Terror grips the hearts of men. The end seems near. Time is running out. The apocalypse is upon us. From the abyss rises a monstrous force, an army led by Gog and Magog. Russia, its thirst for power unquenched, leads a coalition of nations hungry for conquest. The United States, weakened by internal strife, stands as their target. Tanks roll across Europe. Hypersonic missiles streak across the sky. The battle is joined. It is a conflict unlike any other, a clash of ideologies fueled by the fires of hell. The world watches in horror as the forces of Gog and Magog lay siege to Jerusalem. The city sacred to three religions becomes the epicenter of the apocalypse. Section 4. The Beast Among Us, Rise of the Antichrist. The seventh seal breaks, unleashing a silence so profound it is more terrifying than any trumpet blast. The Antichrist, the charismatic leader who promised peace, reveals his true nature. He demands total obedience. His mark, a symbol of allegiance to his evil, becomes mandatory. Those who refuse the mark are branded enemies of the state. They are hunted, imprisoned, and martyred for their faith. Yet, even in the darkest of times, their faith burns bright, a beacon of hope in a world consumed by darkness. Section 5. A New Heaven, a New Earth. As the forces of evil gather for their final assault, a blinding light splits the sky. The faithful, both living and dead, are swept up in the rapture, rising to meet Jesus in the air. The earth, cleansed by fire, is reborn. A new Jerusalem, shimmering with celestial light, descends from heaven. It is a city of unimaginable beauty, where there is no pain, no sorrow, no death. The faithful reign with Christ for 1,000 years, a time of peace and restoration, where even those living during this time will be thought of as cursed if they die at 100 years. Section 6. Beyond the millennium, judgment and eternity, the 1,000 years end. Satan is loosed for one final desperate rebellion. He gathers his forces, seeking to overthrow God's kingdom, but his efforts are in vain. Fire consumes him and his followers. The final judgment begins. The dead, great and small, stand before the throne of God. Their deeds are weighed. The righteous are welcomed into eternal life, a paradise beyond human comprehension. The wicked are cast into the lake of fire, a fate worse than death. And so the story ends where it began, with God's love and justice prevailing over evil. Amen.